Hey, what's up, guys? This is David Chase Taylor of 911truther.org. Today is April 5th of 2026. So, based on breaking news and events, it appears the CIA headquarters located beneath CERN at Lake Geneva in Switzerland is going to stage a military coup d'etat, if you will, targeting Washington, D.C., the national capital region, on the date of Monday, April 6th of 2026, the 63rd month anniversary of the January 6th, 2021 storming attack targeting the U.S. Capitol building. So before I get into the numerology, I just want to highlight the fact that this is going to be a special forces attack by the Israeli Mossad and other special forces in the Israeli Defense Forces. And then it's going to be subsequently scapegoated onto anti-Semitic QAnon types, United States Armed Forces, active duty, retired military personnel, and possibly neo-Nazi militia type groups such as the Bays, the Groypers, Border Recon, the Waffen SS division, all these different groups that the CIA has concocted. But in reality, it's going to be executed by Israel. This is an Israeli coup d'etat against the United States, and it's going to happen on the 63rd month anniversary of the January 6th attack on April 6th of 2026. What's exactly how this is going to play out is obviously not known, but it appears that these troops will be taking the Washington Metro to the Farragut station, which was previously attacked back on November 26th of 2025, and they'll likely take these troops by the thousands into Washington, D.C., namely to the White House and the United States Capitol building, and is likely going to result in a siege, a prolonged siege of Washington, D.C. Donald J. Trump is going to be assassinated, likely murdered in some sort of ancient, esoteric, and ritualistic blood sacrifice event, and then they're going to trigger martial law, the deployment of the National Guard, and we're going to go to a DEFCON setting, and they're likely going to move the capital from Washington, D.C. to Denver, Colorado. I'm not sure if they're going to put in J.D. Vance, the puppet J.D. Vance in, or if they're going to go straight to Barack Hussein Obama, but this particular event bears the numerology of Barack Hussein Obama, the 666 numerology, because 63 months is 3 times 6 or is 666. So I'm not sure which way it's going to go, but it's going to go either which way. So they're either going to put in Vance or they're going to put in Obama. Coincidentally, J.D. Vance is in Moscow, Russia right now, I believe. Or no, excuse me, not Moscow, Russia. He's in Budapest, Hungary, meeting with Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban prior to his election on April 12th. So I'm not sure which way they're going to go, but they're going to go one of two ways. But Donald J. Trump will no longer be president after the date of April 6th. Which leads me to dovetail into this fact that yesterday on April 4th of 2026, the CIA began spawning this rumor all over social media via their talking heads and their paid influencers that Donald J. Trump has been taken to Walter Reed Medical Hospital after suffering severe chest pain. This rumor has since been debunked, but the goal of it was to foreshadow the notion that something tragic is about to happen to the president. Also yesterday, on April 4th of 2026, the CIA staged a shooting at Lafayette Park outside of Washington, D.C. This park will likely serve as a staging ground for Israeli troops entering the United States and entering the national capital region. which CIA-backed terror group they're going to blame this on is obviously not known, because they can switch it up at any point in time. But what they're going to do is execute it under the guise of blowback from the ongoing war in Iran. So they're basically going to state post-coup that this is United States Armed Forces and people that previously served in the military are angry with Trump's handling of the war, and therefore have decided to rebel and to overthrow the U.S. government. Coincidentally, the date of April 6 marks exactly 37 days since the war in Iran began, back on February 28th of 2026. The number 37 or 37 is 777. This is found in the tetragram of Yahweh, which is the highest God in Judaism. And so this impending attack is going to be used Israeli troops, and they're going to claim that it's against it, that it's anti-Semitic in nature. It's predictably that's what they're going to say. So that is why U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio stated at the onset of the Iran war that we were basically coaxed into the war by Israel, and he stated that on record. That could have gone unsaid, but he stated it because this was designed to provide a motive for this impending coup d'etat. Coincidentally, the date of April 6 marks exactly 131 days since the CIA staged the execution of 2 National Guard members. I believe one is still alive on life support, but it was at troops in Washington, D.C. at the Farragut Station, which is adjacent to the White House. So that resulted in a lockdown of that station, and I believe that is the station, the staging area for when these troops are going to be coming in probably from German-made Dolphin-class submarines of the Israeli Navy that are going to be secretly disembarking these soldiers. Or they may come in via airplanes at Reagan National or other airports in the D.C. area. Also, the date of April 6 marks exactly 432 days since the CIA staged the mid-air collision between a Black Hawk helicopter executing a continuity of government exercise with a United Airlines flight over the Potomac River back on January 29th of 2025. And of course, this 432, 42 or 24 equates to the letter X, which is known internationally as the symbol of death. And then 3 and X is 6, CX. So that's 6, and that's represented in the date of the 6th. So this impending coup d'etat targeting Donald J. Trump, Washington, D.C., and or the greater national capital region is going to result in a incontinuity of government because they are basically going to behead the United States, and therefore we will be without a president, and consequently the continuity of government exercise which they were practicing will go into play at that point. They will likely move the capital to Denver, Colorado, and then either J.D. Vance or Barack Obama will be reinstated as the de facto president of the United States. Also, the date of April 6 marks exactly 441 days since Donald J. Trump became president of the United States back on January 20th of 2021. This, of course, has the 44 numerology, which is reflected in that of Barack Obama, the 44th president of the United States, as well as the 41 numerology that is found in the motto of Switzerland, all for one, one for all, because this is essentially a Swiss-Israeli coup d'etat against the United States of America. Also, the date of Monday, April 6 marks exactly 1,194 days since Benjamin Netanyahu became the Prime Minister of Israel back on December 29th of 2022. This number, of course, has the 19 numerology, which equates to the letter S in the English alphabet, which is an acronym for Switzerland, but it more importantly has the 419 numerology, which is found in the creation date of modern Switzerland, which is April 19th, 1878. And this also has the 14 or 41 numerology found in the motto of Switzerland, all for one for all. So this has the numeric signature of Switzerland, which is organizing this coup via the Israeli Mossad. And this notion is reflected in the fact that the date of April 6, 2026 marks exactly 1,340 days since the CIA executed Operation Breaking Dawn, which was the activation of 25,000 Israeli defense forces back on August 5th of 2022. So these 25,000 Israeli defense forces are going to be wearing American uniforms, and they're going to flood D.C., and they're going to control everything in D.C. That is why Donald J. Trump unwittingly and unknowingly passed these laws in Washington, D.C. to bring in the National Guard, and that is the cover that they're going to need for bringing in these 25,000 Israeli defense forces into Washington, D.C., and they're all going to have American uniforms. And they are going to be masked because they're all Jews and Israelis, and they look nothing like Americans, and they're going to be masks. And that's why ICE is also masked, is because this is the cover that they need to basically bring in foreign troops into the United States. And once the people find this out, then it's going to be open season on these guys. But until that happens, this is their masquerade, that they're going to be masquerading as American soldiers, but it's going to be a foreign occupation of the District of Columbia by Israeli troops. And Benjamin Netanyahu, who is a traitor to the American people, he should be hung immediately. He is going to be organizing this coup d'etat. And this notion is reflected in the numerology, 1,340. This has the 14 numerology, which is found in the motto of Switzerland, all for one for all, and also has the 3.14 numerology, which is reflected in the logo of the CIA, which contains a 16-pointed star. So pi 3.14 is reflected in mathematics via the letter P, the 16th letter. And so that is the numeric signature of the CIA that is going to have these Israeli troops come into the United States and take over our government in the United States. Lastly, the date of April 6th of 2026 marks exactly 1,916 days since the CIA staged the false flag storming attack targeting the United States Capitol building back on January 6th of 2021. This, of course, is the 63rd month anniversary of this event. Six times 3 or 3 times 6 is 666. This is designed to bring about the political resurrection of one Barack Hussein Obama, as evidenced in my report published back in 2016 entitled Obama 666, Will America's First Dictator Please Stand Up? And this is the first event in many that would bring about the political resurrection of one Barack Hussein Obama. And of course, the number 1916 has the 19 numerology, which equates to the letter S, which is an acronym for Switzerland, and it has the 16 numerology, which equates to the letter P in the English alphabet, which is a symbol for pi, which is reflected in the 16-pointed star of the CIA. So this is the Swiss CIA organizing this coup d'etat against the United States, namely her president, Donald J. Trump, overthrowing the president of the United States. And so, like I said earlier, I'm not sure which group they're going to blame it on. We know that they're going to be allegedly white, anti-Semitic people that are against Donald J. Trump. They'll likely cite the Epstein files and the ongoing war in Iran as motives for this, and it will likely result in the torture and death of Donald J. Trump. And then they'll likely blame current active duty military or retired military, militias, neo-Nazi groups, and then they'll claim that they were incited to commit these attacks by Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, and other online personalities such as Nick Fuentes and so on and so forth. So obviously, if the CIA stages any sort of military coup in Washington, D.C. on the date of April 6th of 2026, obviously know that it was planned, orchestrated by Switzerland, and executed on the ground by her Israeli Mossad, who does all the dirty work around the world for Switzerland. And so obviously, if this comes to fruition in reality, I kindly ask that you download this video and share it with local, state, and federal law enforcement, military, and intelligence officials, as well as with local, national, and international media outlets.